Team, listen, man, I'm really enjoying these workshops. I just got off the phone with Shayna, and she got me to thinking, man. I've been thinking about something we want to go over for Hot Seat Tuesdays, and I want to call this 1,000 ways to close. One of the things that we don't talk about is after we get done throwing all the Hail Marys, far as I want to think about it, I can't afford this. What's some of the things that we say that we never remember? And I had to remind myself, man, like a lot of stuff comes off the top of my head, and I never ever remember it. Like, one of the three things people say is that you hear a lot of dumb stuff like, I would like to, I'll just save my money and pay out of my bank account. When someone says that to you, first thing you tell them is, that's crazy. You mean to tell me you're going to pay more money for something than you have to? Let me explain something to you, Joe and Mary. There's only three ways, really, you can pay for life insurance or pay for your final expenses, I should say. Number one, you can pay out of your bank account. Number one, if that was the cheapest way for people to pay for these things, would insurance even exist? You're going to pay dollar for dollar. It's going to cost you 100% whatever the cost is. So if the funeral is 20 grand, guess what? You're going to pay $20,000. The second thing is that you can go ahead and get a prepaid funeral option. Let's say tomorrow you negotiated a deal for $20,000. Guess what? You're not going to pay $20,000 right away. You're going to pay monthly installments, right, Joe? He's going to go, absolutely. How much are you going to pay monthly? Well, I'll probably pay at least $100. Okay, great. Well, if you put that $100 into the prepaid funeral option for the first 6 months, let's say you die month number 7, that means that your wife only has $600 credit on the actual account, which means she's still responsible for the remaining balance of $19,400. That just doesn't go away. Why? Because it's dollar for dollar. The next thing is that with a prepaid option, it's non-transferable. You cannot move it, which means if you die in New York City and your prepaid funeral options in St. Louis, guess what? You picked up an additional cost. It's called transportation of remains, okay? The last thing about a prepaid option what I wouldn't recommend is, guess what? I wouldn't recommend that because what if the company goes belly up? Or what if your friend or family member who you rely on to be there when you die, what if they're dead first, okay? If a company goes belly up, now your money's in probate court. You're sitting there fighting, trying to get the money out. You don't have that kind of time when someone dies because last I checked, funeral homes want their money right away. Now, the next thing is that if I were you, I would take that same $100 and put it into our Freedom of Choice program. Guess what? That means that when you put that same $100 over here, right away, you're going to be covered for the full amount. So if you put that in there in the 6 month you die, guess what, Joe? We're on the hook for $20,000. Let me ask you, would you rather spend $20,000 of your own dollars or $20,000 of my dollars, okay? Here's the deal. In the first year, you only give it our company, if you put $100 a month in, $1,200. But if you die, you get 20 grand. Tell me how you lose, okay? So that's one way to knock out prepaid funeral options and things like that, or stupid people that say they want to use their bank account. Another way to beat the bank account up, you could tell them, listen, let me ask you a question. Are you living to die? Say, what does that mean? Well, think about it, Joe. If you got $40,000 in the bank, wouldn't you much rather spend that money and enjoy your time because you worked hard to save that money, right? Don't you want to enjoy it versus just put it in the ground? Well, they're going to say, what? Of course, that makes more sense, right? Well, think about it like this. Why don't you enjoy the money that you have while you're here, set aside $100 a month, buy the other 40,000 so when you die, the company will write another check for 40 grand to your family and you can enjoy your money while you're here. Okay. Another thing people say, stupid stuff like, man, this is super expensive. You go, you're right, Joe. Listen, it's going to be a cost either way you go. There's going to be a cost for you to do something, and there's going to be a cost for you to do nothing. But what I can tell you, Joe, is that the people that do nothing realize that they sure wish they had done something because the cost is much higher. So either way it goes, it's going to cost you some money, right? But I guarantee you the people who did nothing sure wish they had done something when it all hits the fan. That's another way I close people. So it just depends, guys. I got 1,000 ways I go over these different closes with people, man. And it just really comes off the top of my head. People go, I always ask them, let me ask you a question. Are you a spiritual person? They go, yeah. Well, listen, one of the things the Bible says is that you should leave an inheritance for your children's children. Now, I'm not here to get the whole kit and caboodle, but I at least want to get you a step in the right direction. Does that make sense? I understand you smoke cigarettes, man, and listen, you're a tobacco user. So let me ask you, how many packs a week you smoke on average? Be honest. 3 packs? In ballpark, what does packs of cigarettes run these days? About $8? Okay, so that's about $24 on a weekly basis. So automatically, we know at least we got $100 of money going up in smoke, right? Now listen, I'm not here to judge you. I don't care if you smoke cigarettes. But don't it make sense to at least set aside 50% of what's going up in smoke to protect the most important thing in your life, Joe? Let me ask you a question, Joe. If you had a golden goose that laid golden eggs, right? What would you do to protect that goose? Would you protect the eggs or would you protect the goose? Well, let me ask you a question. Who do you think the golden goose is in this particular situation? You are, Joe. Hey, listen, out of all the benefits that we just talked about, which one of these benefits can you see yourself not using? Exactly. I love to call this the comparison clause. Listen, Joe, we got to have insurance for everything. The only difference is this is the only one guaranteed. Let me explain. Think about it, Joe. You have right now, you have car insurance, right? Joe, is there a guarantee that you're going to get into a car accident, or is it a possibility? It's a possibility, right? Absolutely. Now, Joe, you got homeowners insurance. When's the last time your roof blew off this house? Can it happen? Yes. But is it just a possibility? Is it a guarantee? No, but it's possible, right? What about medical insurance? Does everyone get sick before they die? No, right? But what's the probability of me and you both dying? Joe, it's 100%. So what you're saying is that this ain't a matter of if, Joe. This is a matter of when. You know we just don't know? We don't know when. The best for the client close. Listen, Joe, here's the deal. I know things is tight right now, okay? But let me ask you a question. In the next 6 months, you plan on having a lot more of these things taken care of and your situation a little bit better under control? You're probably going to be in a much better space financially, right? Okay, now remember like the letter said, they do everything on a 3 to 5 year enrollment basis. I don't want to have to make you wait 3 to 5 years because it's going to cost you more money. Here's what we need to do today to protect your enrollment period. What we're going to do is we're going to schedule our second appointment towards the end of the summer or towards the end of the fall. But I'm going to get you enrolled into a baby program today to protect your enrollment. Because once you're inside the program, remember, you can always be re-seen and reserviced at any time. Does that make sense? So protect you and to make sure the best interest of you and your family, I want to give you more options, but I don't want you paying more money. Does that make sense? Okay, great. Do me a favor. Go ahead and grab a driver's license checkbook. I'll get the paperwork started. One of the things I just wanted to kind of make sure I got across the table to you so that way you're on the same page that, you know, when people die, there's typically two reactions. The first reaction is, you know, you feel bad and you feel sad, and then eventually you start to cry. But most people don't think about why they're actually crying. They're either crying for two reasons, Joe. Either A, they're crying, number one, because they miss you and they're going to definitely miss who you were in their lives. Or B, they're going to be crying because you left them in a financial bad situation. What I mean is, think about it for a second, Joe. You can either leave your family in a situation where they're eventually going to be playing a financial foreclosure flute, or they could be singing the bankruptcy blues. The choice is yours. Listen, Joe, when people die, and when you die, Joe, your family only has two options. And there's only be two things you're going to be remembered for besides all the great memories you did while you were alive. Either A, you're going to leave a legacy of heaven, or you're going to leave a legacy of hell. The choice is yours, Joe. What do you want your legacy to be? Joe, here's the thing, man. You know that site called GoFundMe? You know what it's really for? It's for people that didn't prepare properly, okay? My grandmother used to always tell me that people buy everything they want and beg others for everything they need. Do yourself a favor and make sure that your family don't become a part of the virtual fish fry. Does that make sense? Perfect. Secret close. Joe, you might like to let you in on a little secret. Here's the deal. Did you know that programs like these is the largest transfer of wealth? Have you ever wondered how some communities seem to get off to a great start while others don't? It's because of programs like these. You right now are the star player of your family. Do yourself a favor and become the generational game changer for your family. With that being said, which option you think is best for your family? For that right there, you've been watching this video now just under 10 minutes. What you're supposed to do is pick up on these, master them, do something, memorize them. On Hot Seat Tuesday, I'm going to expect for you guys to be able to say some of these in your own way. You can create your own style. All this is designed to do, guys, is to show you your creativity. How to use things around you, the things you've seen, the things you hear, and turn them into closes. Use every reason why a person can't as a reason why they can. That's the trick to the game. Learn how to negotiate. Learn how to be confident in the end. Learn how to have the power and the will to outwill other people. You know what I mean? These are the things you have to learn in this business. Don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. Stay coachable. Coach Diddy. Peace.